Did you know that New York City's Harlem had a radical transformation in the early 1900s due to one of the largest migrations in American history? But what caused this migration in the first place?
In 1910, 90% of all African Americans lived in the Deep South, in the states that composed the former Confederacy. In 1910, Harlem, the black Mecca in the North, was a Jewish community. And starting in 1910, black people started to move because of the industrialization of northern cities. And then that was fueled after 1914 by the outbreak of World War I in Europe. And then America enters World War I in 1917. White men are all fighting in Europe, and that created a lot of vacancies for jobs.
But it wasn't just New York City. There was also Chicago, Los Angeles, and Detroit.
So World War I and a man named Henry Ford. And Henry Ford had the audacious idea of paying everybody $5 a day, whether they were black or not.
Detroit paying the $5 a day wage in the early 20th century for anybody, that meant that there were opportunities that people could realize here in Detroit that they could not realize anywhere else. My family's from Georgia, but there were people coming from Mississippi and Alabama because they all wanted to be a part of that promise to get that $5 a day wage and experience economic mobility.
And so people began to move, and the conditions in the South were so bad, Jim Crow racism, violence against black people. It was a period that the great historian Rayford Logan called the nadir, the low point in race relations in the history of our people in the United States. And finally they got fed up and they moved.
Black people have always been on the move. Migration has been a freedom tool.
One of the fundamental definitions of slavery is you have no agency. You can't move when you want to move. So how do you show that you're free, that you're an equal citizen? You move. You know, you move when you want to move. It takes them 45 years to break the shackles of neo-slavery, and finally our people started moving.
This seems like a time where it's fitting to look back.
This migration of African Americans to the North and the West radically changed American culture forever. Music styles like jazz and hip-hop end up transforming American music. Fashion, food, poetry, movies, and the list goes on.
Stay curious, my friends.